Hola, YouTube vidente! G-Lux here as usual with another story to tell, filled with weird faces and nice references. As you may or may not remember, last video I made a joke about how I don't have an intro. Well, guess what? One day while I was editing, my multimedia software teacher logged into the online class and said, "Well class, today we will be making YouTube intros." Oh, fortune smiles on me. Here's what I did in that class. Finally. Intro. Okay, this story needs some context. I'm about to go to college. It's a whole process, you know? Once you figure out what you want to do, the hard part is to decide where you're gonna do it. That's when you start looking for universities. And last summer, I decided to attend a camp for 2 weeks at a pretty known university in Mexico. Which university are you asking? Simple, it's called it. FBI, open up! I'm gonna be honest with you. I signed a lot of legal papers before going to the camp, and I don't remember what were they about. Maybe one of them prohibited me from making storytime videos about it, or maybe I'm just exaggerating cause they don't even know that this video exists, but I will stay in the safe side and omit the name. It's not that important to the story, but they misspell Greek god names. So I went to this camp for 2 weeks, and it was a rocking experience. Here are some photos without context of things that I did in those days. The camp was divided into areas based on the careers the university had to offer us, and I, being a geek/tech boy, got into the engineering area. Well, technically it was called the science and technology area, but come on, that's a name way too long for everybody. If you ask me, the name engineering area was more official. Moving forward, the day arrived, my family drove me to the university, we said our goodbyes, and then it hit me. I am all by myself for 2 weeks.
Oh my god!
As I was registering at the reception of the college residences, I was told to come down by 4 o'clock for a little tour around the university. Now my dorm was at the 3rd floor, so I got on the elevator with my stuff, and when I arrived at my floor, it was completely deserted. Not a single soul to be seen anywhere. This freaked me out since I was already feeling kinda lonely. But I found the number of my dorm and told myself, okay, calm down. These dorms are shared by 2 persons. That means your roomie is on the other side of this room. He could become your best friend here. Just go ahead, come in, and get to know each other. Yeah, this is gonna be awesome. I opened the door and no one was there either. There were only a few things scattered along my roomie's bed. This guy arrived earlier than me and he was already down. Seriously, my first thought when I saw this scene was that he got snapped out of existence by Thanos. Come on, look at those clothes. I can't be the only one to think that someone was lying there and then disappeared from existence. Well, after the disappointment of finding literally nobody on my way to my dorm, I started to read a comic until I realized it was 10 minutes to 4 o'clock. So I got down the reception waiting for the tour to begin, and I had no idea on what to do there. I figured I could just stare at my phone until the tour began, and I did that for like 2 minutes before noticing that in front of me there was a table filled with other campers and they had an available chair. Now, I knew this was my time. I got closer and said, "Hey guys, can I join?"
No!
Okay, that didn't really happen. Like, come on, if someone approaches to you asking to sit on an empty chair, unless someone else already sat there, it will be super rude for you to tell them to go away. So they told me that I could sit there, and we started to ask the typical questions like, what's your name? Where are you from?
Do you know the way?
And it was pretty cool to finally get to know people. While we were chatting, a camp counselor came by and showed us the way around the university. Pretty big place. A lot of territory to cover, but I'm not complaining. It was entertaining, and the most important thing is that during that tour, I met my first camp friend. I remember it was something like this. We got beside one each other during the walk, and I asked him, "What's your name, bro?"
Me llamo Roberto Robato.
"You wanna hang around for 2 weeks?" Nice. We became close pretty quick, and as the days went by, we got to know more and more people. Ergo, our group of friends became insanely big. Like, seriously guys, we were there only 14 days and the group ended up being 10 people. That's 1.4 person per day. Anyhow, I'm very grateful for all the friends I got to make during the camp. They completely made the overall experience 10 times more awesome. But there was something fishy about it all. Something was off with that place. We realized about this one day when we were just chilling in a Starbucks. Then one of us says, "Why do we feel that we know for much longer than a few days? How is it possible for a group of friends to form so quickly with half of the members being introverts? Could it be the fact that almost all of us were in the engineering area, ergo we shared a lot of interests and particular traits, so that made us connect pretty easily? Or maybe it was the power of friendship? Or perhaps we already knew each other?" You'll see. We concluded that when we arrived, all the campers were introduced to a virtual simulation, just like the Matrix. And this simulation had already repeated itself a bajillion times. And with every reset, we unconsciously kept some memories, making us become friends faster every time. I know the first question you may ask will be, "But Gilux, who did this?" This answer is none other than Reese.
Who?
Reese was the director of the engineering area. We gave him this nickname because those were the initials that always appeared whenever he sent a WhatsApp to the camp group. And you know, Reese was the obvious choice for the mastermind behind this complot. He was the director after all, the one who controls everything that happens in the camp. And besides, he always seemed very aware of what was going on among the campers. Maybe he did a good job as a caring director? I don't think so. It's more logical to assume that he had omnipresence, specially designed for resetting rebel campers who caused too much trouble. How did he do this? By touching their shoulder. This was a gesture me and my friends noticed he did once in a while, and for us, the illuminated ones who knew the truth, it meant that our beloved campers were sent to the beginning of the camp, then to repeat it all over until they reached the graduation ceremony and were able to free themselves for the tramp that was the camp. Now, this theory had elaborated fundaments? No. Was it way too complex? Yes. Is it
A film theory?
Yes. But we don't care. Me and my friends will hold up to the truth and warn the future generations who decide to adventure themselves into the camp to never let Reese touch their shoulders. The last story had a moral, but I don't know if this time the moral is to don't be afraid to know new people because they might become great friends for you, or to never let Reese touch your shoulder. I'll go with the last one. Keep your shoulder safe. Hey YouTube Vidente, glad you came all the way here. I'll make a risky assumption and say that you liked the video. In that case, would you kindly leave a share and like it with your friends? I know in the last video I said that I will do both dubs and my own story times, but I really enjoyed the result of that video, so I decided to focus only on this type of content. I'll have to make another banner for the channel. Well, no problem. Another thing goes to my to-do list. That will be all for this video. Stay tuned for more videos in the next weeks. Jilks out.